How did you reach China? How did you manage to live there for 12 years?
You are on one side and there are 1.4 billion people on the other side and you don't know anyone. I have to be on my own, and secondly, I was immediately taken to the police station because you are a foreigner coming there, and every day I would come back from work, I would find that somebody had touched my things, my belongings. So you have nobody, you have to survive on your own. And then on top of it, there were cameras everywhere. But then writing is something that was always there in me, as a passion. All my articles were published. It was never returned, never rejected. If you are not talking about politics, everything is fine.
What are some of the misconceptions that generally us as Indians have about the Chinese?
You can never trust a Chinese. I think this is the biggest misconception. Chinese people are very patient. I've also stood in the same line, and they don't have separate queues for men and women. They don't want to show off. Very humble. If you are leaving a company, there's no farewell for you because it's so common, people moving around. They were only serving burgers. So I ordered that and I ate it. I enjoyed it. I relished it without knowing what it was. Later on, I came to know what I had eaten was a donkey burger.
तो क्या हाल है दोस्तों, मेंटालिटी के एक और फ्रेश एपिसोड में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं आलोक जोशी जी, जो एक राइटर हैं। उन्होंने बुक लिखी है 12 स्वीट एंड सार ईयर्स इन चाइना। वो एक कॉर्पोरेट प्रोफेशनल भी रह चुके हैं, हु हैज़ वर्कड इन द कॉर्पोरेट इंडस्ट्री फॉर ओवर 20-25 ईयर्स। उसके बाद पेट्रोकेमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज़ में 12 साल उन्होंने चाइना में भी काम करा है। तो हम काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें आज डिस्कस करेंगे अबाउट द चाइनीज़ लैंग्वेज, चाइनीज़ फूड, चाइनीज़ कल्चर, और उनके लेंस से जानेंगे चाइना को और भी करीब से। First of all, welcome to the Mentality and thank you for doing the podcast. How did you reach China and what drew you to China and how did you manage to live there for 12 years?
I never dreamed I would be going there. I would be working in China, living there for so long. But I myself don't know how it became such a long period of time. 12 years is pretty long.
Yes.
I had just come back from North Africa. I used to work for ONGC and I was deputed to go to a country called Sudan, which was in a lot of turmoil at that time. And I was kind of handpicked for a position to work in that petroleum company where there were other nationalities also, who were the stakeholders, like the Malaysians, Chinese, the local Sudanese, then there were some other Canadians and other people. So India had bought an equity for $750 million US. Right. And that time, the international arm of ONGC called OVL, they were looking for people to man those positions. And I went there and I was there for almost like 3.5 years.
Right.
And when I came back, my last posting was in Mumbai. So when I came back, I was told that I have to go to Northeast, Jorhat project as the HR head. But then by that time, I was already kind of in two minds whether I want to continue to work with ONGC or not, because I think if Sudan had not happened, maybe China wouldn't have happened, because Sudan gave me a lot of confidence that I can work anywhere. And I did not want to have a very, very routine kind of a work life, which I anticipated would have happened in ONGC and in India. But at that point in time, I didn't know about China at all. I just wanted to quit. So there were personal reasons, there were professional reasons.
Right.
And I decided I want to change.
Right.
For me, I always believe that if you want to grow, you have to take risks.
And come out of your comfort zone.
Come out of your comfort zone, definitely. I mean, any kind of a growth comes with some kind of a struggle, isn't it? Even if, like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, a baby coming out of a womb, a chick coming out of an egg, there is a struggle everywhere, right? And then they grow. So I thought that I'm prepared for it. I was very open-minded to, but I didn't think about China at that point. In fact, I started looking for, I just put in my papers with ONGC. They gave me a 3 months notice. I started looking for jobs. I didn't find any in India. And then this opportunity came from China, and I just grabbed in because it meant a very different path, a new country,
Right.
a country which is a mystery in itself.
Right.
And I said, why not?
Right.
And that's how I decided to go to China, but it wasn't meant to be so long.
Right.
I went on a 2 years contract, and I thought I'll come back after some time, but then I left one company, the other company called me, and then the third and the fourth.
Right.
So if you really see, during my 12 years, I worked for 5 different companies, 4 oil companies, major oil companies of China, very big companies, China Petroleum employs like something like 1.5 lakh employees
Right. Right.
worldwide. And then I moved to another company called Sinopec International. I was working there. So I worked for almost like 5 companies during this 12 years. I must have changed about 10 apartments during this time.
So what was the culture shock like? So क्योंकि ऐसा भी होता है ना sir, most of the times we have a preconceived notion about a certain place and all of that, but once you reach there, it gives you a different picture altogether. So what was that culture shock like?
You are on one side and there are 1.4 billion people on the other side, and you don't know anyone.
Anyone. Right. Right.
You are as lonely as it can get.
Right.
Right? So the first thing is that it is a new place, and you know that you don't know the language. You don't have any contacts. And it is not only about living. You also would be working in the company, which is all dominated by the Chinese. And you have not only to survive there, but you also have to succeed.
Right.
Right? For me, the cultural shock was, if you go through my first book, I have mentioned that right on the very first day.
We can show this. This is 12 Sweet and Sour Years in China. That's the book. And we'll come to the book in a bit. Please carry on, sir.
Yeah. So I have mentioned that how right on the very first day after my flight from Mumbai to Beijing, I was immediately asked to go out and do some grocery shopping because the whole of Beijing would be closed for 7 days of holidays and all restaurants are closed. I have to be on my own. And secondly, I was immediately taken to the police station because you are a foreigner coming there. And then I had my share of cultural shock in the police station where I didn't know what happened. The policewoman was shouting and she was so angry and infuriated, So that was another shock to me right on the first day. And then, I go back to my apartment where nobody lives. I'm the first person.
It was an empty apartment. The whole
building was new.
Okay. And you were the first resident.
I was the first because our company had bought some apartments.
Right.
And they did not, normally a foreigner will stay in a hotel or an international apartment.
Right.
But the company decided since we have bought, why don't we save some money and put him in our own apartment? And that's how I came there. And it was a service apartment, fortunately. But there was nobody living around me. I was the only one. And then, when you talked about cultural shock, it was something like, I felt that every day I would come back from work, I would find that somebody had touched my things, my belongings.
Right.
And I started suspecting what's going on.
Right.
And then I realized that they think that I am an Indian spy.
Wow.
And I was under surveillance.
Right.
And that is why they had taken my picture in the police station and sent to every
other police station.
Every police station in China.
Just to watch out for this guy.
You see, imagine this is 2007.
Right.
Right before the Olympics.
Right.
China was just opening up and Olympics was coming, and you wouldn't see foreigners on the street. All the signs were in Chinese. You couldn't stop anyone and ask where to go. So they were not used to seeing so many foreigners in 2007. So it was a big culture shock that, everything looked same. And, the Chinese faces, they all similar.
Right.
So for me, it was a big culture shock that I'm finding the same kind of people, around me. And instead of the noise of Mumbai, there was a absolute quietness there. So those were my initial days, There is no internet at home. All those Google.
They're all bad.
They're all bad.
Behind a firewall.
So you have nobody, you have to survive on your own.
Right.
And you haven't heard your own voice for many days. And then, of course, there were culture shocks while you were at work. For me, the work culture there was very different. I was used to a very participative kind of a culture where you can speak out whatever you want to say, whether it was India, whether it was even in Africa. But China, the work culture is very, very serious, very restrictive, very confidential, as everyone knows. So it's not an open kind of a culture. When in a meeting also only one person speaks, others listen.
Right.
And there is a kind of a top-down hierarchical structure.
Right.
Nobody questions anything.
Right.
So the work culture was entirely different to me, I felt. And then on top of it, there were cameras everywhere.
A lot of surveillance.
That was the first discomforting thing for me. The camera right on top of me. And around me, wherever you are walking, you are being watched. We are not used to these things. I mean, cameras have come in now, but this was very different that you were under surveillance all the time. I'm not sure. Luckily, they didn't have cameras in the toilets. So other than that, there were cameras everywhere. It was a very different kind of a work environment. People don't chat.
Did they have cameras in your apartment as well?
They didn't have cameras, but they had the spare key.
Okay.
And the housekeeping ladies would barge in any time without telling me.
Right.
There were no locks in my room.
But how is that possible? How come an apartment doesn't have locks on their doors and all of that? How?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking of the cupboards. Didn't have any locks.
Okay.
There was a door, but they had a spare key.
They had a spare key.
And there were ladies who would just walk in for cleaning the house and they wouldn't even knock. I didn't see there was no bell at that time. And so it was, I am sure those ladies were deputed by the police to keep an eye on me. What happened?
Right.
How come this Indian has come to China working for a government company?
Right.
That too in the political capital of, So they were suspicious.
Right.
But they, after doing their, whatever they wanted to do, I think they found that, okay, this guy is genuine.
This guy is genuine. Right. So, sir, if you could just tell me a little bit about certain similarities and certain dissimilarities between both the cultures, between India and China.
One very common thing that I found between India and China was they put a lot of focus on the institution of family. The respect for elders, the respect for teachers, the respect for wisdom. I think these are some common things that I find is very similar like we have in India. And that is one thing. Second, of course, that they have a very, like us, 5,000-year-old culture. They preserve it.
Right.
And so I would say that this to me is the single most common factor. About differences, of course, I would say that it is all about mindsets. Indian people are very expressive.
Right.
We show our emotions.
Very emotive.
Very emotive people. But there it would be, very difficult to find out from the face of a Chinese,
if he's happy or he's sad.
happy or sad, or he likes you or doesn't like you, or likes what you said or not.
Right.
So they don't have any facial expression.
Right.
The biggest difference, I think, which takes down to all the things is when you come to know that what is the value of freedom. I think it's all emanates from there. There everything is so closed, and India is so open.
Right.
And that is the reason, there, if you don't want to reply to me, or you don't want to hurt me, you will keep quiet. Now in India, it doesn't matter, you will say what you want to say, right? So they have this very important thing, which in English we call it losing face.
Right.
They don't want to be embarrassed, especially in front of a foreigner.
Right.
In India, we don't think so much about these things, whether the other person likes or dislikes or anything, but they are very conscious of losing their face.
The way the things were in China was because it's a communist country and we are a democracy. Did that actually have an effect on the people in general also? Because obviously in a democracy you have freedom of speech and you express, you emote more, you say whatever you want to. Those are the freedoms that a democracy gives you. And China being a communist country, a one party country, does that have a trickle down effect in the corporate environment and in the society in general also? Was that one of the reasons?
Oh, certainly. It flows down from the political system.
Right.
Everything, when you say top down, hierarchical,
right,
and very restrictive kind of a culture, whether it is corporate life or social life, it is the same. Even in the family, if the head of the family says something, nobody questions. So in the corporate life, it is also the same. Everything flows from the top.
Right.
So I think the political system has an impact on the social fabric of the country.
Right.
It does make a difference. So that is why they are very afraid of opening up.
Because yes, yeah.
Like when I'm talking to the Chinese people in a group, they are very, very careful of what they say. But on a one-to-one, I found that they're just like us. They have the same kind of emotions, the same kinds of things. Some of them who became my friends also talked bad about some things that they don't like in the state. But that was all very, very isolated, very, very careful, and they would confide in me.
Consuming Chinese food and being as authentic as possible, because you mentioned that in the in your book also that you initially had some issues with the food and picking up food with the chopsticks and all of that, and then enjoying the Chinese food. So how difficult was it for you to assimilate and adapt the taste of the authentic Chinese cuisine there?
If you want to show affection to anyone, you want to get a favor from anyone, it all revolves around food.
Right.
And there is an endless variety of food in China. You just have to be open to, eating. And I had very early on decided that I'm not going to be picky about what I'm going to eat. Because you can't ensure anything what is served to you. I come from a non-vegetarian family, so it wasn't a big challenge for me. But then instead of asking what is this, what is that, I was very open-minded on whatever was served to me. And I knew that some of the things I would not relish at all, and I didn't relish them. So when I was alone, I would order more number of dishes because I knew that I'll have to throw away one or two of them. Food was damn cheap at that time. So I would take 2-3 dishes. Even ordering food was a challenge in itself, because you can't read the Chinese. You don't know what is there. So initially I had these problems. Later on I start they started putting pictures of the food.
So that it becomes easier to
It
identify.
becomes easier now. So you see the picture and then you say, I want this one. That became a little easier than
Right.
before. Then there are no spoons or forks in the restaurants. So you have to learn how to use the chopstick, which I did by trial and error on my own.
Right.
But food is so important. I mean, in the whole country, can you believe there is no tipping?
Right. You did mention that in the book, right?
I'm so amazed that, and they do so good work, with the looking after the guest and everything, but there's no tipping.
Right.
So food, I tried everything there, and I wanted as authentic as it can get. Because they have a notion that a foreigner doesn't eat spicy food.
So how spicy is their level of chai jazz?
Oh, it can get very, very spicy. It depends upon what kind of a food you are eating.
Right.
For example, there is a place called Chengdu. Now, the food there, it comes in like, it's so spicy, so spicy. Similarly, there are some other provinces also. So every province, like an Indian state, has got their speciality,
Right.
and they have their own spice level.
Right. Right.
It can really go very, very hot, and it would be impossible. But I've tried everything. I didn't stop myself that it is spicy or not. I've tried. The fish. It comes in a red chili bowl.
Right.
The steamed fish, and you have to. So that is just for the taste of it. So the food is very different, and what we get in India is something different.
I very interesting thing, sir. You had mentioned in your book that you had gone out to you were hungry. You went out to a burger place. You enjoyed the burger, and you did that a few times. And when a colleague of yours perhaps told you that it was not a chicken burger or a mutton burger, it was a donkey's burger. So what was that experience?
Yeah, it wasn't few times, but yes, it was once. I came from a meeting back, and we have a canteen. The good thing about the Chinese companies is that they give you breakfast and lunch.
Right.
The canteen had closed by then, so I had no choice. So I was looking for something quick around my company office. And then I saw the picture of a burger. I thought that would be the quickest thing to do and get back to work. So I just go there. I just pointed my finger that I want that thing. And it was easy because they were only serving burgers. So I ordered that and I ate it. I enjoyed it. I relished it without knowing what it was. It was so piping hot, and it was put in a wooden tray, and everything was so good. And it was only later on I came to know that what I had eaten was a donkey burger, and I was shocked myself because, I can think of any other animal, but not donkey. You know how donkeys are perceived in India.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I thought that I'll keep this as a secret for the rest of my life, and I won't tell anyone what I had eaten.
Right.
But then if you see my third book, the title of the book says From Dumplings to Donkey Burger.
Right.
I said, why be shy? I mean, this was a mistake. Since you are talking about this subject, I must say that donkey meat is quite a delicacy there.
Right.
And just as we have McDonald's and KFC.
And I believe pretty high protein as well.
Yeah. And they have these chain of donkey burgers around in the city, in every city. So it's quite popular there.
You as a writer as well, you've written 3 books, one being the 12 Sweet and Sour Years in China. What inspired you to write a book and give a tell-all detail about your years in China? What inspired you?
I think after I hung up my boots and returned from China, I was stuck in US during the COVID time, and I didn't know what to do because you can't get out of your room. People were dying all around the place. You know how things were. So I said, let me start putting something on paper, start writing something. And initially I thought that I'll write something on management, on some other aspects. Then I felt like, I need to tell this story to the people of my experiential journey in a country which is so enigmatic. And on top of it, the COVID that had kind of started from China itself.
Right.
So all eyes were on China. So I thought that the easiest thing for me would be to write something that is true and honest. I don't want to write a fiction,
Right.
And the easiest thing that came to me was China, because it was too recent. And all the time the China was on my mind. I was processing what all had happened during these 12 years. So I started writing it when I was in US.
Right.
And it took the form of a book.
Right.
Because initially I was just writing down all the different incidents or anecdotes.
Right.
The good things, the not so good things. And then it took the shape of a book. And when I came back to India, I thought, let me try and publish it.
Right. Right.
I didn't even know how to publish a book. Writing a book is a different
Right.
ball game.
Right.
And publishing is different. Marketing is different.
Right.
But then writing is something that that was always there in me, as a passion. I used to write when I was working, and I was writing even in China for Global Times. And
You've written articles for the Global?
many.
Oh, that.
I must have at least more than 100 published articles in those.
And how did that come about? How did you reach out to the Global Times?
I didn't reach out. I met someone who said that, why don't you write? We have a column for the foreigners. It was called, I've forgotten the name. There was a column which used to be kept for foreigners.
Right. Right.
And that's where I started writing. And, because to write, I didn't have much material to read, but, I'm always been a very keen observer. And I'm interested in people.
But tell me, sir, something, because the Global Times as a media outlet has been known for being the mouthpiece of the CCP.
Yeah.
So when you wrote about a certain topic, how heavily was it edited? Because obviously, if you can be transparent to only to a certain degree, but after that, because it's state-owned media platform, there probably has to be certain kind of a firewall of words, so to speak, where you can actually, think about writing only so much. So how heavily was it edited?
Out of all these years that I was there and all the articles that I sent, each and every article was published without editing.
Okay.
Except one.
Okay.
Which I wrote something on, I think it was about the status of women in India or something related to that.
Okay.
And it was a bit controversial.
Okay.
Because
okay. Well, what is it about, sir?
I think there was a lot of being written about, the crime rate in India, the rapes that were happening,
right,
the dowry, and a lot of things were happening. And I tried to compare it with many other countries where things don't get reported. I had done a comparison between different countries and they were questioning the source of. Except for that article, I think all my articles were published. It was never returned, never rejected. So they were quite open. That was the forum. And of course, I was not writing about politics. Right? I was writing about the experiences of an expat, what I see, what I observe, and what I think about it. And I never had a problem.
Right.
If you are not talking about politics, everything is fine.
Can you name a few sour and some sweet anecdotes about the Chinese culture and your stay in China?
Yes, I have quite a few of them actually. I have talked about the good experiences that I had in China, where I found that people were generally nice to me and they were kind to me. And even at work, they respected, the professionalism that I brought in there. And I think it was a very good feeling to be acknowledged for whatever work you are doing. And people were very helpful. If they know you are a foreigner, you don't know many things, they will try to help you. For example, I would say that when I was new, I asked somebody, I needed to go to a particular shop, and I asked somebody, and believe me, I was escorted right up to the place where I wanted to go. But this wouldn't happen here. Even to come here to your place, there was nobody here to tell me. Even the next shop, he didn't know where you live. He didn't even come out to tell me. I was just around this place because this was my first time to locate you. But there, they were so nice that they would come all the way to tell you that this is the place.
Oh,
yeah, people are very nice, very modest, very humble. They know that you are a foreigner. You have some difficulties. So these are some of the good memories that I had. I made very good friends. As you know that I always lived in Chinese communities, and I made very good Chinese friends. And one of the reasons why they became friends to me was because they wanted to improve their English.
Yes,
I had all those friends, and whenever I went out to eat with them, there was not a single occasion where I had to pay. They didn't let me pay when we were having any meals. But this doesn't happen anywhere else.
India also is kind of similar.
India is similar.
We take out a guest,
India is very similar to that. We like guests, and the difference is that in India, if you want to show your love and respect to someone, you will invite them to your home. In China, the culture is not to invite them to the home, but to take you to a restaurant, because everyone likes to eat out. So if you are invited for a lunch or a dinner or somewhere,
you must be special.
At home, you must be very, very special. But even if you are invited to a restaurant, you are given very due respect. It's not like you are treated like a VIP. So people were generally nice. So these are some of the good things that I have good memories about China. And everything works on a system. Even if you go to the hospitals, there are crowds, but the system works.
Right.
There it is not like someone, the doctor, you will go and approach them. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
The system works. So there are some good things. And on top of it, the discipline part is so great.
They're very disciplined.
Yeah, you won't see any cops on the street. And people are so afraid of the police there. Very contrary to what we have in India.
Right.
I would say sour experiences were more because of I was an outsider. I was a foreigner.
Right.
There are good people and bad people everywhere. But, sour experiences happen because you have some language issues sometimes.
No, I was reading this incident that you mentioned where you were in a cab and that cab driver duped you with duplicate money.
Oh, yeah. As I said, the cab drivers there are, I don't know, they have this reputation. The very old cab drivers, they know there's a foreigner and they would, I got cheated a few times because there was a lot of fake currency going around.
Right.
So it was just like, you give them once, at that time, initially, it was not digital. So I used to give them cash. I didn't have enough change, so I told him I don't have enough cash. He says, it's okay, whatever you have. I gave him 100, they call it yuan. 100 yuan. And that guy took it. And he took out a fake currency and returned it to me. And on top of it, he said, doesn't matter. Whatever you have, you give me. And the next day when I go shopping, I was almost like shouted, why I was carrying a fake currency, because that's illegal.
Right, of course.
So but these were like isolated events. I wouldn't say people are bad there, but there are always some kind of, greedy people who want to cheat a foreigner. Other incidents that I had during the course of my stay there were more because of other reasons, mainly language reasons or communication problems. You must have seen when I went to the hospital initially, what happened,
Right.
I was almost, my skin was burnt.
Right.
With the incident.
That acupuncture.
Acupuncture thing, they put something on top of my belly and I didn't know what it was and it was looking very nice. I didn't realize and nobody came to remove it and I thought that's a process. And later on I discovered that it had burnt my skin and I still have a mark here, even today.
Right.
So, but it was not done deliberately. It was because maybe carelessness or I don't know what it was, but it wasn't done deliberately. But that was one incident. I've also mentioned about somewhere in one of my books about the fraud that they were trying to do with me by giving me a job.
Right.
That was, even though I come from HR, I was kind of very smartly, got into a trap, but I escaped.
Right.
So I would say that when you are an expat, you will always have good and bad experiences.
Sure.
It all depends on how you take them.
Of course.
And so I felt that it just wants you to be more careful. But otherwise there's nothing like it.
On the language issue, sir, again an anecdote from your book where you went into a barter system with the masseuse, where you would get a massage and in return you would teach them English. So tell us something about that.
That was something very, very interesting. Again, it happened during my initial years. English language is so much valued there. Because they have this problem of English language skills.
Right.
So initially, on one of those weekends, I happened to see an advertisement and it said something like massage for English. So I looked at it and I thought, what is it about? And then I said that I was very intrigued and I had nothing to do on a weekend. So I said, this looks interesting, So I went to check out that massage place and talk to the people, whether it was really a massage place or something, notorious, where they do everything else other than massage. So I went there, I talked to them and I found that it was a very, very legit traditional massage center. And the manager said, he spoke broken English and he says, can you help me? A lot of foreigners come here, but my guys and girls, they can't speak English.
Right.
And so I said, okay, fine. And they are very shy, because they are very shy of a foreigner. They haven't seen a foreigner. And very simple, young boys and girls were there. And I started teaching them how to deal with a foreigner guest who comes and taught them some words, like, is the pressure okay? Or you turn over, some basic words that they won't be required.
Right.
So I started teaching them and at the end of it, they gave me a 1 hour massage.
That's good barter.
I love massages, I freaked out on, on this in China because that's so common there. And I was gymming and all that and I really needed some good massage. I did it for a couple of times, but after that, I said, it's over. I don't have anything new to teach them. Now I have taught them everything. I've done a mock drill with them. But that was very interesting barter.
What are some of the misconceptions that generally us as Indians have about the Chinese or vice versa?
Our conceptions or our perceptions are all based on media reports. Most people don't have first-hand experience.
Sure.
And I have found that a lot of people sit in their living rooms and they are giving judgments on Chinese culture and on Chinese people without knowing anything. Their knowledge is at best like a tourist.
Right.
But when you live there, you realize that we Indians also have a lot of misconceptions.
Right.
Just as the Chinese people have misconceptions about Indians.
Right.
Some things are partly true, but not everything is true. Like you say that you can never trust a Chinese. I think this is the biggest misconception.
Okay.
I don't think it's true. Maybe when there is a self-interest involved in terms of money or politics, maybe this kind of things would be there. But I never faced any problem with anyone cheating me for money or trying to deceive me. I never experienced it. So I think this is a big misconception. Yes, they have this reputation of making fake goods and not trusting. To some extent, they are true, but they are not wholly true.
Right.
And Chinese people are very simple and modest, but they are smart also, They are very focused.
Right.
So I would say that is a misconception that we Indians have about them. And actually, Chinese have more misconceptions about Indians than we have. Because they just think that, very interestingly, they think that Indians are dark, black. So they never took me for an Indian.
Okay. Right. You didn't mention that in the book, right?
Yeah, they couldn't believe that an Indian can be brown or a fair person. So secondly, they think that an Indian in India means you are a Buddhist.
Okay.
You don't have any other religion, you are a Buddhist. Then they think that, I'm not talking of the modern young Chinese, I'm talking in general. They also think that, they used to ask me, oh, you are an Indian, are you married? I said, yes. Oh, you can have 4 wives.
Oh.
I used to tell them I'm a Hindu. So they have so many
So they don't know anything about who a Hindu is.
They don't know anything about India. For them would mean something like a slumdog millionaire. India is a poor country.
Poor country, dirty country.
They are a dirty country. Women are not respected. And it is a poor country. And, all kinds of misconceptions they have got. But the young generation, they are now better. They actually like Indians because they have seen a lot of, a lot of stuff on the internet. And a
lot of Bollywood is also pretty popular there.
Yes.
The movies and
for them now India means Bollywood, yoga, these 2 things. So at one point Bollywood was even today. When I was there, some movies were running very well. The old taxi drivers would sing old Bollywood songs, Avaram types.
Right.
There was a time when Indian films were very popular there.
Right.
So there is a misconception on both sides and a lot of misconceptions, and that is all based on the media reports, because when you come to India, you hear bad things about China. And when you go to China, you hear bad things about India.
Yeah.
So it's all based on the media. You will never see anything good reported about each other. I think that is something that over a period of time, I think may change, or hopefully may change. Let's see what happens.
Right. So in all these years, you were there for 12 years, what changes did you see in China politically and socially? What were those changes?
I would say the biggest change, the biggest visible change for me was the infrastructure.
Right.
China of 2007 to 2000 now is very, very different in terms of infrastructure. You see their roads, their fridges, there is no water clogging anywhere, no stray dogs, which is so heated discussion these days. There is a discipline, which was always there. But I would say infrastructure is one thing. Second is they have become more friendly to the foreigners after the post-Olympics.
Post-Olympics.
Yeah.
Because more tourism has started. Is it because of that?
No tourism. It is purely economic reasons.
Okay.
Every big company has got an office in Beijing. Now, there's a lot of trading going on. So, purely economic reasons. Of course, and over a period of time, because of their social interaction, they become friendlier with foreigners. Earlier, they used to be afraid of foreigners, or they had this notion that foreigners, the older generation, they still don't like foreigners.
Right.
They still have some, again, misconceptions in their mind that foreigners have come there just to take away their money or just to spoil their culture and things like that.
Right.
So infrastructure is one.
Right.
Other than that, I would say that now the younger generation, many of them are speaking English. English has become such a huge business, has been a big business in China. So they are more open-minded, the younger generation.
So, sir, living for so many years, how has it personally impacted you? Has it made you a more evolved individual? What changes can you think of yourself that have gone through all these years?
Chinese people are very patient. They would be standing in the same queue for a train ticket for hours together without any noise, without any grudges, without any grumble. They are so patient. I was amazed. I've also stood in the same line, and they don't have separate queues for men and women. It is only one queue. So patience is there. Humility. I mean, they don't go around with the bodyguards and those red, the cars with all this honking going on. They don't want to show off. So very humble. You wouldn't know that this is the president of a company unless someone tells you, or he's a big politician. Very humble people. They also will stand in the same queue to eat food in the canteen.
Right.
Patience, humility. I think the third thing that I learned there was flexibility, that you can't be rigid in a foreign country. You have to be flexible. You have to type things. You have to think about from their perspective. You can't expect them to change.
Right.
You have come to their country. And then detachment. In China, they don't have farewells. So if you are leaving a company, there's no farewell for you because it's so common, people moving around. So people they don't show emotions so much. Like in India, if you are changing a company, oh my God, you'll be a few ladies crying there on your farewell.
Right.
But there, they won't even arrange your farewell.
Right.
It's just very normal for them. So, you will find that suddenly some employee you don't see, some colleague, because he or she has left the company without telling you. Or you find that your favorite salon shop has suddenly disappeared. It has moved out.
Right.
So, I think this is what teaches you detachment. And finally, the most important thing it has taught me is the health consciousness. They are very, very health conscious people. I've changed some habits, drinking more water and, exercising, walks. You find everyone is so health conscious there in China that there's a lot of pressure on you to stay fit. Yeah. And I had a tough time because I was drinking a lot of beer and, my belly had started coming here. I used to go to the gym to, just to look fit. So I think that is the biggest lesson that I have learned. And it's not like in India, the elders, once you are retired or you are sitting at home, you are just isolated. There, the older people are very active. The old couple, they will take care of the grandchild. And the one who is healthier will go out, do all the shopping. The other one will look after the child. They will go to the parks. They go with their pets. They play different kind of games. They communicate. They dance. They have KTV. So they try to lead a very active social life even when they're old.
Right.
So that's something which has impacted.
Right. So now on in the next leg of your life, now you're also now a motivational speaker. How has the experience been over the years, and how has that transformed into being a motivational speaker, and what knowledge can you impart from the various years of experiences you had in China and in Africa?
Yeah, I mean, you can give me a tag of a motivational speaker, but basically what I feel is that I like to tell the young people, I like to, from my own experiences, whatever I have learned, I like to share them with them. And that is what something that I like to do now. And that comes, for that I don't have to really prepare anything, but I would like to share this with young people and tell them to really come out of their comfort zone, take risks in life, you grow, and every time you grow, you evolve, every time you change, you evolve in some way. And that has been my experience. At that time, I felt it wasn't a good decision, but when I look back, I think it is very good. I think as someone said that life can only be understood backwards, but you have to live it forwards. And therefore, I always believe that the young people these days are very smart. They have a lot of potential. But at the same time, they have become kind of, they like to be more comfortable and they like to lead a very stable life near their homes. But my experience has been totally otherwise. So I can only share my experience and pass on whatever I have learned.
Right.
So I like to, yes, I go to the universities and I speak to young people, and they are also very curious because, it is very difficult. Like, I think no Indian has lived in China for 12 years at a stretch and worked in a public sector company.
Right.
People go there and they want to run back because they have this food problem, language problem and all that. So I don't think in some ways it was a history. Similarly, I think one of the best experiences I ever had was in Sudan. Now that is a place, which is very backward. There are no shopping malls in those days, no entertainment. But then you try to, I think the best period of my life was in Sudan. Most enriching, professionally and personally. So I think every change will help you. And that is why I encourage young people that change jobs, change companies. I was in one company for 22 years and then in 12 years I moved in 5 companies. Can you really?
Right.
Because then you get the confidence that now you can work, And so you see how your career spans, And some people think, okay, I'm here, very comfortable now. I will retire from here, spend all my life here, get married, I have children and all that stuff. But I think your life is yours ultimately. It is your decision. Maybe these were my decisions, right or wrong.
Would you ever reconsider going back to China? If yes, why? And if not, which other country would it be that you see yourself moving to?
First, to answer your question, definitely I would like to go back to China. Okay. I have such good memories. I still have some friends there.
Right.
And I owe a lot to China and the Chinese people with whom I've interacted and seen a different way of life,
Right.
How the country runs without religion, with a different kind of political system, and what are their values, what is their culture. So I'm kind of a people person. For me, China is very interesting. I mean, if I go to Europe or US, everything looks to me the same. The same architecture, the same buildings. But China is so different. So many dialects. And, it's amazing. I think it's a wonderful, very different, I would say, and unique in its own way, even though it's not a popular destination for most Indians. So I would definitely like to go back to China any day. I have nothing that holds me back. And about going to other countries, I don't know. I'm always, I've traveled more than 40 countries and I'm always looking for an opportunity.
Right.
Even in India, I was always looking for opportunity to go to places where nobody goes. So I'm ready to go anywhere in any part of the world. I think every country is different. Every country is good. Their culture is different. So you cannot say this country is good or that country is bad. It is just that some culture is more appropriate, some is not. So definitely I look forward to more travels, and my main interest is more on culture, on people.
Right.
I would go anywhere to probably enrich myself on that count.
Perfect, sir. It was a wonderful experience, and getting to know about the different stories about China. It has been an exciting conversation. I would like to thank you again so much, sir, for taking out time and to do the podcast. I hope whenever you're free next, we'll love to have you back again, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yash. It was my pleasure to come and speak to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. तो गाइज ये थी हमारी कॉन्वर्सेशन आलोक जोशी जी के साथ. आई होप आप लोगों को ये कॉन्वर्सेशन अच्छी लगी हो. प्लीज डू मेक श्योर दैट यू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द मेंटालिटी.